I actually do write an agenda, like as in a meeting agenda. It's because I can't remember very well, and time management is important, but not that important. It's content.
The agenda always starts with myself welcoming everybody.
Especially if there's new people. We go around the room, we introduce ourselves.
And then I go into the history of our support group, because we did evolve from another group where the leader had passed away.
We do sharing for the new members, and that's where we really start getting, are you comfortable with, the confidentiality? I'd say 90% of the new members are very willing and open. They're a little nervous, and then I'll do my story. And I actually have worked it down to about 3 minutes total, which is a feat for me.
If there's not new people in the meeting, if it's just the group that's always been there, I usually start off with what's new with you guys, anything you want to talk about, because a month can be a long time for some folks, especially if they've had a couple of doctor's appointments.
When we have a speaker, we usually have an hour to an hour and a half set out for the speaker. Always ends with a Q&A session. We have speakers probably 80% of the time. We have nutritionists come in from the hospital. We have a pulmonologist and a research person come in and talk once or twice a year about what the new research on pulmonary fibrosis is.
We have a doctor that shows up 3 or 4 times a year and can answer specific questions. And we have a nurse that's always there, and she can answer most of the questions. So we try to make sure that the information that we're providing them fits their needs, and if there's some special information that's really only applies to them, we make sure we go out and get it back to them via email or a conference call, something like that.
And we're always asking for ideas. We always ask, what do you want to do next time?
So when the meetings are all over, we kind of do a quick rewrap of what we just went through. If it was a presentation, I'll have that presentation on the website if everyone wants to go look at it again. And also a last minute opportunity for everyone. Is there something that you didn't get to say in the meeting, a concern that you have or a question that you have for the next meeting? Let's talk about it now. If not, we'll conclude the meeting and go home. It's important to recruit new members because, quite honestly, we've had folks show up to our group and they've been diagnosed for 3 or 4 years and they've never been in a support group. They've never heard about all the things that they could do to help themselves, like rehab, like oxygen therapy. So it's important to let those people out there know that there is a support group for them to show up to.
It's actually our job and our passion to recruit new members. The channels we use are local doctors and pulmonologists, pulmonary rehab staff.
All the rehab folks know if you have somebody come in there for pulmonary rehab and they're not aware of the support groups, they've got our flyers, they've got our information.
We set up tables at local hospitals and start doing outreach to people. Hey, what do you know about pulmonary fibrosis? Have you heard of it?
It's interesting how many in the general public actually know someone with PF, but they didn't realize there was an entity out there for support and education.